Welcome back to War Regular News. This week, the economic changes happened. I also got some weird information, but there's also a lot more grounded stuff on what's going to come in the next major patch. So hit that subscribe button, and let's first touch up on what these economic changes are, because there were some pretty big ones. So the most prevalent and obvious ones were the research cost reductions. Well, I kind of already covered those in past videos, so I don't want to dwell on them too much. However, overall, they're nice to see. I was hoping for a bit more, but I guess I shouldn't get my hopes up too much. The next most relevant one is the repair costs, and these changed a lot in many aspects. So I made a big old list of all the really big repair cost changes. Starting with US fighters would be the F4U-4B, which gained 6,924 silver lines to its repair cost, now being 21,000. The F9F8 is now 1,510, having gained 4,210 to its repair cost. The B-24D lost 3,271 silver lions to its repair cost, now being 8,340. However, the B-57A gained 6,825, now being 21,000. And the B-27B gained 5,200, now being 1,600. And to top it all off, the B-29A lost 0 silver lions to its repair cost, staying at 44,100. Now, starting off, this sounds pretty horrible. However, you have to take into account that I only bothered to write down the most extreme of changes. There was quite a few less extreme ones, and in fact, I did calculate all of the changes, and overall, there is a reduction cost of 9,002 silver lions. So that's to every single US aircraft. I didn't do it the other trees because it took me an hour to just do the US tree. But anyways, let's continue. For US tanks, the T-32 is now at 12,980, gaining 3,180 silver lions. The T-32E1 is now at 15,000, gaining 5,200. The M1 Abrams is now at 5,000, losing 250. The M1 IP is now at 6,500, losing 3,310. And the M1A1 is now also at 6,500, losing 3,280. So if you're an Abrams lover, it's great news for you. Overall, US tanks lost a total of 10,930 silver lions to their repair costs collectively. Nothing much stood out for boats. However, overall, they lost 5,870 to the repair costs. And all of the helicopters had their repair costs lowered. A total of 16,288 was removed. For German fighters, it's not looking too pretty. The Ta-152H1 now has a repair cost of 28,000, gaining 9,523. The Ta-152C3 has a repair cost of 26,000, gaining 8,567. A bit better for some of the 262s. The ME-262C1A is now only at 7,000, losing 3,530, and the ME-262C2B is only at 17,000, losing 8,200. Also, the MiG-15 BIS is only at 6,800, losing 3,388. Gaijin continues to not understand what the hell to do with bombers, and now the HE-177A5's repair cost is 32,000, gaining 10,400. The Ferdinand lost 3,970 repair cost, however it's still at 10,370. The Leopard 2A4 is now at 11,370, gaining 2,470. And the Leo 2A5 is now at 17,000, gaining 5,970. As for German boats, the Type 140/141 lost 6,000 to its repair costs, but still heading up to 11,000. The Project 206 GDR is only at 10,000 now, losing 5,000. The Type 143 lost 3,300, now being at 6,700. All the CLs had their research lowered to much more reasonable amounts, matching up to the US ones, and helis were lowered as well. For Russian aircraft, the Tu-4, being an exact copy of the B-29, got the same treatment as the B-29, gaining 0 silver lions and staying at 31,950. No major reductions to Russian tanks. However, boats is a slightly different story, as the BMK 161 1844 had a reduction to its repair cost of 5,160. The Project 206 lost 4,000 Silver Lions to its repair cost, now being at 8,000. The Krispy Kreme and the Kavkaz had their repair costs reduced to around the same as the US light cruisers, and the helis, like everyone else, had their repair costs reduced generally. In some cases not too intense, sometimes it's a noticeable amount. For Brits, the Spitfire LF Mark 9 lost 2,940 to its repair cost, now being 8,850. The Spitfire F Mark 14E lost 3,014 to its repair cost, now being 8,380. The Lancaster B Mark I lost 2,885 to its repair cost, now being 9,040. The Lancaster B Mark III gained 3,520 to its repair cost, now being 15,220. The Lincoln B Mark II gained 8,410 to its repair cost, now being 27,310. And the Canberra B1 Mark VI gained 5,000 to its repair cost, now being at 14,000. As for the mobile tea kettles, the Conqueror gained 2,890 to its repair cost, now being at 9,470. However, the Challenger Mark II lost 2,470 to its repair cost, now being 4,900. And the Challenger Mark III lost 3,720 to its repair cost, now being 7,500. Onto Japanese fighters, the A6 M5 Otsu is now at 28,500. I bring this up because some people were complaining about it on Reddit, but in reality it only gained 1,500 Silver Lions to its repair cost. It's always been insanely high. The A6 M5 Co lost 3,160 to its repair cost, now being only 6,200. The N1K1 JA lost 3,231 to its repair cost, now only being 9,090. The J2M3 lost 3,627 to its repair cost, now being 9,990. And the J2M4 Kai lost 2,312 to its repair cost, now being only 4,600. The J2M5 lost 2,696 to its repair cost, now being 6,160. The Kai 84 Co is now only 9,080, losing 3,223 to its repair cost, and the Kai 84 Otsu is now only 10,180, losing 3,392 towards its repair cost. The Kai 83 lost 4,017 to its repair cost, now being only 8,970. Less happy story for the R2Y2s. The V1 gained 2,677 to its repair cost, now being 13,630. The V2 gained 6,400, now having a max repair cost of 19,000. And it says the Key 10-1 gained 6,400 to repair cost, now having a max repair cost of 20,800. I'm pretty sure it's a typo in the document and they meant to say the R2Y2 Kai V3. However, I haven't checked the game yet, so... The F86 F30 lost 3,732 to its repair cost, now only being 7,500, and the F86 F40 JASDF is now at 5,600, losing 2,761. The G5N1 lost 2,863, leading it to be 9,440 Silver Lions to repair, and the GAN1 saw a similar trend to quite a few other bombers, gaining 9,407 to its repair cost, landing at 29,000, which is only a little less than the TU4. However, the GAN1's max bomb load doesn't even have enough to destroy a whole base. Before I explode into an angry rant about that, the Type 89 was the single Japanese tank that saw any significant change, and it unfortunately gained 2,400 Silver Lions, leading to be 7,100 total. For Italy, the G55 Series 1 gained 2,650 Silver Lions, becoming 15,250, and the F84G 21 Re lost 2,900 Silver Lions, landing to be 8,800. As for tanks, The R3 T106FA gained 2,920, landing at 9,720, and the Ariete P gained 3,420, ending up being 11,000. On the arcade category, for the 7532 M41, its max repair cost was nothing significant, 980. However, it said the amount it gained was 1,00E plus 01. I don't know why. It's a very weird bug. For French fighters, the VB-1002 lost 2,606 Silver Lions, landing to be 7,420. The MD-406 lost 3,034 Silver Lions, landing to be 9,100. And the MD-452-2C gained 2,950 Silver Lions, having a max repair cost of 10,960. The SO-4050 Voltor 2A gained 5,416 Silver Lions, landing at 16,000 max repair cost. As for tanks, the Lorraine 40T finally got a break, losing 2,450, having a max repair cost of 16,200. The AMX-30 1972 lost 4,990, leaving a max repair cost of 9,900. The AMX M4 lost 4,300, having a max repair cost of 8,700. And the AMX 50 Super Bias lost 2,420, having a max repair cost of 6,630. A lot of people, when it comes to repair costs, assume that they are there to balance a vehicle. For example, a well-performing vehicle, they will just give it a really high repair cost, and that will make it appear less in game, and thus the game would be more balanced. And perhaps in some cases they do attempt that. However, the real focus and reason why the whole economic system is here with the Silver Lions is that it slows down the grind. That's right, none of it is there is to improve the gameplay. It's all to annoy you and to buy in premium. And you gotta think about it in this way. A tank that does very well is going to get you more kills more often, thus get you more research points. And you will progress through the tree much faster than other people in other tanks. So if you were to make it so the person who is researching many tanks in this one vehicle can't get through the tree nearly as fast, via making it so there's a secondary cost to tanks, not just research points, but Silver Lions, and make it so that person lacks a lot of Silver Lions by having it so when their tank dies, they lose all that they gain. They're going to have to be grinding much longer for that secondary resource now. This is why a lot of bombers have high repair costs, is because people like to use them to grind through trees in a really relaxed way. This is also why nations like Italy and Japan have really high repair costs at the end of rank 4. They don't have many rank 5 aircraft, so to keep people from quickly and easily researching all the vehicles in rank 5, they make it so it's really hard to get there with extremely high repair costs. With that knowledge, it should be evident that there is literally no positive effect to a vehicle having a higher repair cost. It is only slowing you down. The only arguable positive effect of this is that it gets Gaijin more money. However, you and I and everyone else who plays the game should not be concerned about Gaijin's finances, as that's not our problem. That's Gaijin's. However, to end off the repair cost talk, I'd like to make the statement that of all the repair costs that I did calculate for the US tree, the overalls were all negative, so I'm going to make the assumption that for other nations they are also all negative. So in general, repair costs have been lowered. That's a broad term, everything. But essentially what it means is the grind is a bit faster. Some other economic related things are the shell costs were for the most part reduced. I think a few were raised, but not by much. But also reward multipliers were changed. Generally, they seem to be raised. The only ones I can find that were lowered were for due 217s. However, there's no mention that the Silver Lion reward multipliers were also changed, at least according to some people on Reddit, making the point that the Japanese F4U A1 Corsairs reward multiplier was lowered to 460% as opposed to what was 480%. Kind of shifty for Gaijin to forget to mark that one down. In the terms of the naval game mode, there was a rather large change, having bots added to regular matches. To many people, this may sound like a bad thing, essentially Gaijin admitting the game mode is dead. However, it could breathe new life into the game mode, as if you think about it, now there are faster queue times, more targets to shoot at, and more easily to kill targets. However, on the contrary, the RP reward is still garbage, leading to, yeah, it will take 300 games to research a light cruiser. And honestly, I think that's what's really making this game mode seem dead, is that the grind is ridiculously extreme. So now that we got all that stuff out of the way, let's get into some rumors. And to start off with the least grounded ones, a dude on Discord came to me, a dude who has come to me in the past, I will add, and gave me a list of vehicles that I'm assuming he's implying are going to be added in 1.89. And that list consisted of the Gepard A2, which I'm assuming is a Gepard with air-to-air missiles, the Lav AD, which is something that a lot of people brought up in my last video when I was talking about the possibility of more missile spags. Taking a quick look at this thing, I've decided that if Gaijin does indeed add it, even if it is just the anti-air variant of it, and not the M1128 MGS, I will uninstall Duolingo. And I have a 12-day streak going on right now. Gaijin, I'm not sure if you understand the weight of this choice. Yes, I know that the M11128 MGS has very little in common with the Lav AD. However, I really want the M1128 MGS. Also, if you add that and don't add the Type 16, that'll be so dishonorable. Anyways, back to the list. The next vehicle was the M6 Linebacker, which a lot of people in the comments for my last video were also talking about. It's simply a Bradley with some stingers attached to the side, but still pretty awesome. Then there was a note of the Lynx 3, but no other British helicopters, so that's a little odd. And then the Challenger Marksman, which I really wouldn't understand them adding, as sure it would have better hull armor. The turret is the same, and it's the same guns and same system, all that. It's just lopped in a different tank. Then there was the M1A1HA, either as a full vehicle or a modification, wasn't clear, but he said that it's most likely going to be a modification, which wouldn't be too surprising as the 3D model of the composite armor in the X-ray on the M1IP is different than that on the M1A1. However, those two tanks, the armor is supposed to be the same. It changed to the visual model could imply that there is a possibility of further changes. After that, he noted the Chinese MiG-19, which I've shown photos of in the past. He said nothing about it, just to mention that it was there. And then he said the Dutchland class and the York class, and that was all. Two things came into mind about this list. Is first off that most likely should be taken with a very small grain of salt, as this dude, while he has come to me in the past with information, has also been wrong about information, but also right in some cases. But nothing major or big. The other thing is this list kind of feels like it's pandering to me. The first three spags were noted about many times in the comments of my last video. I brought up personally when I was going over various British helicopters, the Lynx 3. The Challenger Marksman, that's totally out of left field, so maybe that's a bit against this. In the past I have talked about how the M1A1's visual armor is different than the M1IP's, implying that it could mean to a HA modification. In many streams, I have brought up that I am very much interested in a Chinese tech tree and have been working towards a Chinese aircraft tech tree for a future video. And many times I have brought up how there are files implying the Dutchland class light cruiser would be added. And of course, you're going to have something that needs to oppose it. Why not the York class? So maybe, perhaps, I've actually just been right on the money with these War Thunder weekly news videos. Or maybe this guy is feeding me things he knows I want to hear. If this list is all completely made up, don't worry, I got some legit rumors for you. On a post from Gaijin's official Instagram account, somebody asked, "Are you guys adding British Rank 6 supersonics?" And Gaijin replied with, "We are thinking about some competitive British top tier jets, yes." My knowledge of mid to early Cold War jets is a bit limited, unfortunately, but perhaps they could add the Jaguar, as apparently that jet had similar performance to the T2. In fact, they could even add the Jaguar T2 for maximum cheeky. Or perhaps the UFOs were actually implying that they're going to add the Harrier jets, which are pretty nice, but no match for a T2 in the terms of speed. However, that would go very nicely with some assets that seem to be from the Falkland Islands that one of my Discord moderators brought to me. I'll let you guys go nuts on what that could possibly mean for aircraft and or tanks. A viewer of mine made note to me that there are actually files in the helicopter folder of the CDK titled Wasp Pylon Torpedo C and Wasp Pylon Torpedo N. The idea is that these are indeed referring to the Wasp helicopter, which did indeed carry torpedoes. Thus, this would be further proof that we're going to get British helicopters. Final rumor doesn't actually have to do with the next patch, but something much closer, the VE Day sale and exactly what's going to be on sale. Historically, it's been about that everything Allied was about 30% off, with some packs having a bit heavier discount, although bundled together. However, perhaps they might be shaking things up a bit this year, as Shawn said.
Victory Day sale coming up? That's correct. Yes. As per our tradition, Victory Day, we're going to have huge discounts for everything, pretty much. Especially Allied nations vehicles, so yeah.
Honestly, I think this is just Shawn messing up the words. I do a lot when I'm streaming. Hell, I even do it when I'm recording. We're most likely just going to see the usual 30% off bundled packs, and maybe some of the newer premiums won't be on sale. And that's all the news this week. If you have any comments or concerns, you can comment down below or on my Discord. If you liked this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like my video, don't hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I make New Thunder weekly news videos every Sunday. I make random videos throughout the week. I stream on Saturdays. I want to start streaming on Twitch, so follow me there. Hit that bell icon to be notified anytime I upload anything. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bonus news! Alright, so the bonus news this time is, hey, remember back when the Black Widow aircraft thingy was added? In the dev blog, they had a little excerpt saying the turret could be locked into a forward position and that this was planned to be a feature later in development. Well, it's been later. It's actually been quite a bit later, and that feature is nowhere to be found. Also, Gaijin, if the VFW can fold out, why can't the Beretta bus? Come on, do it!